So now we will see what are the 3 points estimates. So instead of providing activity estimates as a discrete number such as 4 weeks, it's often helpful to create a 3-point estimation. So when we are going to perform the activity estimation, so to provide the estimation as a discrete number like 4 weeks, it is very useful to create the estimations using the 3-point estimates. An estimate that include optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic estimates. So these are the 3-point estimates. Now in the next slide we will see what is optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic estimates. So such as 3 weeks of optimistic, 4 weeks of the most likely, and 5 weeks for the pessimistic estimates, about which we were saying that such as the activity will take 4 weeks. The following procedure is how the 3-point estimation works. The project success factors are determined and identified. The most important factors which will affect the project success will be identified. Risks which might affect the project success factors are identified. Not only we have to list down the success factors, also we will list down the risks which might affect the project success. Then the risks are analyzed and prioritized to determine which are the most important. So after selection or identification of the risk, we have to select and prioritize the most important risks. The project is divided into tasks. We will use a work breakdown structure in order to divide the project into tasks. So each task receives 3 estimates, like the optimistic, assuming the risk do not occur. The optimistic estimates tells us that the risk will not occur. The most likely estimates will tell us, assuming the risk occurrence level that is most likely to occur, similar to other estimates. Most likely is the best guess, you can say. So you will make a best guess for the occurrence level of a risk. In the pessimistic estimates, you will say, assuming that the risks occur. So the optimistic estimates will be based on that the risk will not occur, and most likely estimates based on the risk occurrence level that is most likely to occur, and the pessimistic estimates are based on that assuming the risk will occur. The 3-point estimating procedure is used to determine the final estimates for the each task. So using 3-point estimates, we can finalize the estimates for every task. So the next we will see what is schedule development. Basically in schedule development, we will determine the start and end date for the project. So the ultimate goal is to create a realistic project schedule that provides a basis for monitoring the progress for the time dimension of the project. So the purpose of schedule development is to develop a realistic project schedule. On the basis of this schedule, project progress will be monitored for the different time dimensions of the project. So important tools and techniques that will be used for the schedule development will be Gantt charts, critical path analysis, critical chain scheduling, and PERT analysis. So first we will see what is Gantt chart. Gantt charts provide a standard format for displaying project schedule information by listing project activities and their corresponding start and finish dates in a calendar format. So basically it is a standard methodology for showing the project schedule information by listing all the project activities and their start and finish dates in a calendar format. So the symbol that we will use in order to create a Gantt chart will be the black diamonds, that is basically used to show the milestones, thick black bars which is used for the summary tasks, lighter horizontal bars used to show the duration of the tasks, and arrows which are used to show the dependencies between the tasks. So using the Microsoft project and Microsoft Excel, we can model a Gantt chart of any project. We have to list down the number of activities with their appropriate start and end finish dates, and the arrows shows the dependencies between these activities. Basically, the particular bars are used to show the duration for each activity, and the darker bars shows the critical tasks of this project. So every task will be modeled using this calendar format. So now we will see what is critical path method, which is also represented by CPM. Critical path method is a network diagramming technique. It's a network diagram or network diagramming technique used to predict the total project duration. So in order to calculate the total project duration, the technique that we will use is called the critical path method. A critical path for a project is the series of activities that determines the earliest time by which the project can be completed. So using a critical path, you can determine the earliest possible time in order to finish the project. The critical path is the longest path through the network diagram and has the least amount of slack or float. So in order to get the duration of every path of this network diagram, the critical path is the one with the longest duration, and it has the least amount of slack or float value. What is slack or float? It is basically the amount of time an activity may be delayed without delaying a succeeding activity or the project finish date. So basically, slack or float is the amount of time using which we can say that basically this is the time measure that will show the amount of time we can delay an activity without delaying the next activity and the project finish date. So now we will talk about the task which is assigned you in week 6. Is basically you have to create a basic Gantt chart in Microsoft Excel for displaying project schedule information by listing project activities and their corresponding start and finish dates in a calendar format. Simply you have to create a Gantt chart by displaying the schedule using project activities and their start finish dates in a calendar format.